And the first item of business, I see roll call. We have everyone here. And so got that. And then the next thing will be superintendent's comments.
Yeah, I will make it kind of a lot more brief today because we went over the reopening plan on Tuesday's board luncheon. Today, after the meeting, I will be posting our flyer out there for the community and opening kind of an opening statement with it, along with our amended school calendar. But for the people that didn't want showing this board luncheon, I will read a little bit of this flyer just to kind of give an overview. And if there's any questions you have, because you've had the plan since Tuesday, and hopefully each one of you have gone over it. And if you have any questions, we'll be free to answer those right now. Obviously, we're going to start August 26th. We're still going to push to have school 5 days a week, but parents have the option, go to school or don't. We're going to have two types. We're going to have in-person classes where it'll be regular, just like regular, but and we'll have virtual academy, which for each student, your child will attend class virtually, maintaining a regular daily class schedule, complete with core classes through a digital platform, and communicate regularly with the virtual academy teachers. If this option is chosen, a student will not participate in extracurricular activities to maintain that healthy environment chosen by the parent. There will be a review process for all ADA regulations. Safety precautions, everybody will have to wear a mask in our building this fall, but classrooms will be set up with social distancing with the goal that students will be able to remove their masks while they are seated at their desk. They just will have to wear it when they're going to lunch or changing classes or to the bathroom. Kindergartens or below do not have to wear a mask per law. Students will be eating breakfast and lunch in their classrooms, but we are starting to work on plans where we can separate with a 50 people thing and a smaller lunch sizes using different arenas, maybe the gym, maybe the cafeteria, maybe outside, where Ms. Shelson is working with each principal to come up with different ways in that per the regulations and the law. We will be doing temperature checks for each individual as they enter the building. Temperature checks are highly encouraged before students leave home each morning from the parents. Commonly touched surfaces will be disinfected frequently throughout the day and also during non-school hours. Everyone will be asked to wear a mask while riding a bus. Students will be spaced out as much as possible in buses. Buses will load back to front and unload from front to back. Buses will be disinfected after students unload. This will include seats, seat backs, windows, and other commonly touched surfaces. If we happen to all go the COVID-19 cases boom and we have to shut down, then we'll go full-blown distance learning. Hopefully we don't get to that point. That's kind of an overview of our plan. The big plan within a week, I will share with the community through Facebook where they can read it. Everybody can see it. Just I'm gonna let everybody know how hard I appreciate how hard my staff has worked here for all the changes and update to be able to give the community and to the board approval of be able to give you a plan that you can approve, and you know it's followed by every aspect about health department, CDC, governor, commissioner. It's all approved through that. So that's all I have at this time.
Mr. Burrow,
Mm-hmm.
On the one where they do the virtual learning, that setup that they cannot be in any athletics, that is not by the board or you, is it?
Well, yes, it is. But working with attorneys in other districts, they are saying right now that they can play, but there's a lot of people going, if a parent feels it's unsafe to be around kids in school, how can they tackle somebody get spit all over them and everything else? And so it's basically per Wayne Young lawyers, our attorneys, we're all agree that it's a district's feeling, which is my feeling right now, that a lot of other districts around us, there may be some that open, some don't, but we feel we want the safety of our kids. If the parent feels like they're safe at home, then they need to be safe. They don't need to be around kids sweating and spitting and hitting each other too on the football field or basketball courts of that nature.
All right, thank you. I just want to clear that up. I wasn't for sure how that was.
And
thank
also,
you.
and also if they go in the virtual academy, they will stay in that. They got a chance to come back to in person at the end of the semester. They won't be bouncing back and forth.
Right. All righty. Thank you, Mr. Burrell. Okay, the first item is approval of consent agenda. I think we went over this and discussed it some in the meeting we had Tuesday. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to pull out? If you do, just say so. If not, why we will proceed with Mr. Burrell's recommendation.
I'm good, Bumpus.
I'm fine.
I'm good too.
Sutton is.
All righty. Mr. Burrell,
I recommend we approve the consent agenda.
recommendation to approve the agenda, consent agenda. All right. Yeah, I have a motion for that.
So moved, Mrs. Sutton.
All right, Ms. Sutton, thank you. Second,
Second, Riggs.
Mr. Riggs, thank you. All signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed? No? All right, yeses have it, 5-0. Thank you. And the next thing would be approval of individual items. The only thing we actually have on there is consider approval of the bills. And I think we do have some add-ons. Mr. Burrow or Mr. Stokes, could you tell me on the add-ons on number 5?
That is insurance for property that can be moved inside and outside of your building. A good example of that is marching band instruments.
Okay.
So
kind of an
our
odd name.
insurance will cover them whether they're in our school or if they were ruined on a marching competition trip.
All right. The way it's worded, inland marine, it may think it was something to do with boating or something.
Right.
Agreed.
Our scissor lift, it's mobile. You
Yes.
can take it in and out, places to use. That's at the inland marine also.
Oh, okay.
What's
I've
that
been told-
linebacker occurrence?
Where's that? Oh,
Number 6.
It's extra liability coverage. The name is quite deceiving. Actually, Mr. Troutman, we weren't sure of that either. He called and verified that's more, it's liability coverage.
Okay.
Apparently, it's like it backs other coverages. If he would like to explain more, I'd be happy. But
No, that's fine. I just thought, what is a linebacker occurrence? I don't.
yeah,
That's all.
Need to get in layman's term.
Yeah, I'm good, Bumpus.
okay.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm good.
I am too.
Sutton. Yeah, let's go.
All right. All in favor of the,
We need a,
oh, I'm sorry.
I
Mr.
recommend we pay the bills.
With too many things going here. I don't have anybody to back me up in here. So you recommending, Mr. Burrow?
I recommend we approve the bills and pay the bills.
All righty. Now then, I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Riggs. All right. Who else? Have a second.
Second.
Mr. Howard. All right. All signify by saying yes.
Yes.
No's? 5-0. All right. Our next item of business is, let's see.
Treasures.
Treasurer's report, yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board. If you're ready, I will proceed.
Yes, Mr. Stokes, I'm sorry.
No problem. The revenues for the month of June totaled $903,333.35. Our expenditures totaled $1,526,175.49. That left us with a closing balance of $4,920,265.12. From that amount, our general fund and payroll checking accounts totaled $3,804,156.52. Our special revenue fund has a negative balance of $7,921.41. Our district activity fund balance is $29,813.57. Our capital outlay fund has a balance of $271,228.76. Our FSPK fund is balanced at the close of the year. Our construction fund is still showing the negative $28,339.08. Our food service fund is showing a balance of $78,673.70. After school has a balance of $9,050.72. Community education has a balance of $1,115.80. And our trust and agency funds collectively total $762,486.54. And again, those fund balances total $4,920,265.12. So our special revenue fund showing a negative balance of almost $8,000. I sound like a broken record saying this every month, but we do spend our grants, a good portion of them first, and then have to request the money back. Compared to last year, we were showing a negative $97,000. So we actually are $90,000 more in collections ahead of last year, which is a good sign. And our construction fund is showing a negative balance because we started renovation processes for the HVAC system, the air conditioning heating unit at Calhoun Elementary, but then it was put on hold because of the pandemic. So we do have some upfront costs for that, and we have not sold bonds to pay for that project yet. So that's why the negative amount is showing there. So neither one of those are alarming or cause any need for concern. If you will slide to page 2 on the treasurer's report. The first thing I'd like to point out is as of June 30th, we had collected 98.4% of our property taxes, which is good. But last year we were at 101%, so we're a little behind there, but not much. And if you scroll down to the middle of the page, there's a negative $25,000 in contributions there. Obviously, you can't receive negative contributions. I just wanted to point this out. This is where we received the $25,000 donation to Marie Gatton Phillips Elementary School, and I have transferred it over to restricted funds in Fund 2 so that it can't be spent for anything but Marie Gatton Phillips School. In fact, I've already spent $16,454 of it. So just wanted to point that out to the board because it looks out of the ordinary. Right underneath that, our SEEK program. This is something to point out. For the year, we have received $5.8 million in change, which is down about 60 from what we budgeted. But I have warned the board many times that we were receiving over $300,000 less than last year. So if you look at page 4 and compare, at last year, we had received $6.2 million in SEEK. So there you go, 6.204570. So that compared to the 5.8 million we received this year is a 364,000 decrease in state funding that we received this fiscal year alone. So we're operating well over $250,000 less from the state. I know you've heard me say it several times. I just wanted to show you the figures now that we have our 12 months of collection in. And then lastly, go ahead, Mr. Miller.
How many years has it been since we've received more than what we were supposed to be allocated?
Well, last year we received that 6.2, and the year before, in fiscal year 18, we received 6.38. So we dropped 134,000 that year.
Right.
In fiscal year 2017, we were at 6.56. So if I go back to fiscal year 16, which would have been 15-16, we were at 6.55. So to answer your question, the last time we increased was from fiscal year 16 to 17.
Okay. Thank you.
It's been a while.
Right.
Lastly, on the second page of this document, at the very bottom left, we took a hit this month. Our general fund balance dipped down 659,000 and change. That's primarily due to the 2 extra payrolls that we run in June to fulfill our employees' contracts. But relative to last year, we had a $661,000 loss last year, so it's right on pace. It's a typical number. I want to point it out to you and let you know that part of the plan.
Right.
So, other than that, there's nothing out of the ordinary. But I'd be happy to answer any questions on this report or anything else related to finance.
Well, David, with less money, way I'm looking at it, with less money this year, we were right there about the same amount of money we spent last year. So we've done a good job with our money, I think, if I'm saying that correctly.
That is correct. We were aided a little bit with diesel fuel. I did calculate that cost in case anyone asked. We did spend $17,000 less this year than we did last year. Obviously, we were spending less because we were transporting less.
Yeah.
And I am quite certain that we'll end up saving a little bit on utilities. I do not have 12 months of bills in yet because the bills we are paying now will have to be moved back to last year. But I assume we have saved some money there too. But yes, sir, we did more or the same with less, which is always a good indication of hard work and a good team.
All right. Anyone else have any other questions for Mr. Stokes?
Thank you, David.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. You've heard the information. If no other questions, then Mr. Burrow, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend we approve the treasurer's report as Mr. Stokes presented.
Okay. Heard the recommendation. Do you hear a motion?
Motion.
All right, Mr. Howard, thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Ms. Bumpus? All right, thank you. All right, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opposed? No. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next will be personnel report. Some of this I think you have, and Ms. Lindsay just brought in just a little bit ago.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out 2 positions that, since this was a virtual meeting and a special call meeting, I couldn't add any more onto the agenda, but in our personnel report, just want to share, on letter C here, we got, I'm going to be placing interim principal at Maria Gatton, but also I'll be placing, I want to wish Miss Karen Solis, congratulations to her. she received a director of instruction in another county, and she's going to the central office. She's going to take her leadership to another level and work with all schools in Caldwell County. I want to wish her the best during this time, and there's reopening plans. We already had assistant principal in place in Kelly Foster. Kelly's been working with Karen and that school's plans and going through our trainings with what are, that we're going to reopen with. So just to keep continuity, I will be placing an interim. By law, I can place an interim principal for 1 year. I'm going to be until this year. At the end of next year, they will site-based will pick a regular one to be full-time principal. I'm moving Miss Foster from assistant principal up to an interim principal for the McLean County Middle School for this coming 2021 school year, because basically she's been working with that school and gone through the training, and we don't have time to wait a month to find somebody to come in because we're with what's going through this pandemic. With that, we also now will have an assistant principal position open, and I'm proud to say that we have Jason Bowman's sister just retired as a principal in Hopkins County, and a very successful principal at that. And she was going to come and help and guide and work with the assistant principal position, help Miss Foster and her knowledge as the interim assistant principal. I'll place her for 1 year. And she cannot start to October 1st. During that time, I placed last year interim principal, assistant principal Rick Snodgrass is going to come and fill in that space to October 1st. Have some leadership. Both of them have been former principals, both retirees, and have a lot of experience. Our kids are going to get a great team there at the middle school. I'm proud to say our kids are not hurt over this. We're going to carry on and have a good school at McLean County Middle School. And that's kind of what my plan is for the two schools, or two positions at the middle school at this time. I just wanted to clarify on that on the personnel report.
All right. I guess next we'll move on to Miss Melody. She's got a couple of information.
C, Mr. Wendell, letter C. I'll go ahead and go to that one because we'll skip that. I want to wish John Farley back as the interim principal at Marie Getton Phillips.
Okay.
I'll be placing him with Mr. Jones leaving on June 30th, go to another district. I asked Mr. Farley if he would like to come back. He's familiar with the school. I think it'd be a transition to help the kids, because that's number one, and he cares for the school. So basically, I'm placing Mr. Farley for 1 year. At the end of this year, with uncertainties of what's going on, we have a familiar leader in that building that's going to carry on Marie Gatton Phillips tradition. So I'll be placing John Farley back as principal at Marie Gatton also.
All right. I guess now moving on to Miss Melody, I think you have a couple things about the high school lunch prices and the summer feeding count.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to notify the district of the paid lunch equity requirement that each district is required to submit each year. After we submitted our weighted average price for lunch, we showed that we have an increase again this year. So lunch prices will increase to $3, which will only be at the high school, because we are going to be a CEP district for elementary and middle school. So we did have to increase the lunch prices from $2.90 to $3.
And this is Melody. They tell us what we got to tell, right?
Right, correct. This is we turn in our numbers, and it's we have to follow the equity tool, and it comes out and says that there is a need to increase our prices. So we have to do it. It's not something that we get to decide on.
Will their breakfast increase as well?
No, ma'am. I'm not increasing the breakfast. This is just for lunch. That they basically, when we turn in our information, they tell us if the lunch price has to change. We do not do that for breakfast.
Okay. And so what is the price of breakfast?
I'm sorry, Ms. Bumpus.
What is the price for breakfast at the high school?
For students, it's $1.25. And then the free and reduced prices don't change. So breakfast reduced price is 30 cents and the reduced price at lunch is 40 cents. But those numbers do not change. They're set by the state.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
You would
Okay.
think the state would help us out during the pandemic instead of hurting the community a little bit more, but that's just my personal opinion.
But as a district, we're going to help our community out by implementing the CEP at the elementary and the middle school, help our families. So I hope that this goes in a positive direction for everybody.
Yes.
Now, I did want to just give you all a quick update on where we're at in summer feeding numbers. You know, obviously we moved over into our summer feeding program when we went to NTI in March. We took a break the week after school was scheduled to be out in session, and we resumed summer feeding meals the first week of June. We are feeding all 5 days a week, but we're doing bulk meals. So we deliver meals and we distribute meals on Mondays and Wednesdays for the entire week. Luckily, we have great community support, and we have help from the local churches here in Calhoun and in Livermore. So we've been able to do that for the community. I just wanted to let you all know that we've currently, to date, have distributed 7,110 breakfast and another 7,110 lunches. Compared to last year, we offered multiple sites. We had three sites this year. Last year we had 4 sites in June and 5 sites in July, but we offered breakfast, lunch, snack, and supper. We only had for the whole summer, we only served 1,825 breakfast and 3,180 lunches, 50 snacks, and 737 supper. So I just wanted you all to see the increase in the need that we are distributing right now. We're not doing any sports camps. We're not doing any Bible schools. It's just basically that we're distributing to families that come up to pick up and take it home.
There's just a real need because we have such a high unemployment rate right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm so thankful that you're doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think that a lot of people that didn't use it before, I know that until we couldn't shop for our food bank any longer, we were seeing people that, you know, normally would not be attending a food bank come to the food bank. So I know that people who normally wouldn't be using free meal program are using it now. So thank you so much for doing that.
I just want everybody to know that we can't do this by ourselves. And yes, we're distributing meals from Calhoun Baptist Church and Livermore Baptist Church, but there are several churches in those communities that are pitching in and helping. So if we didn't have that help, we couldn't serve all these children that do need our help. So just, you know, keep in mind that this community is coming together to help one another.
That's great. It's a good thing about having a smaller community, I think, most of the times.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Burrow, do you have anything else?
No, I thank you for all you do for the kids.
Any board member have any other comments?
No,
If
sir.
not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Bumpus.
All right. Ms. Bumpus, thank you. Second,
Second.
Mr. Howard, all in favor say yes.
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 All right. 5-0. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
You.
Thank you.